Hey team, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. My apologies for not doing the video yesterday. I mean, to be quite honest, I didn't know what to expect. There really wasn't much to say. As of yesterday, we didn't have much catalyst. We got a GDP number today. We also got jobless claims. Both came in better than expected. Jobless claims came in under, less than expected, and GDP beat by 0.1%. So, if you guys want a little more clarity on the news, I want to give a big shout out to FSMN. They are a Twitter service that provides news. I know most people don't use Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, but they do a really great news summary and it's really long. But I know you guys, maybe some of you guys like to read, some of you guys don't, but it's $5 through their Twitter. I pay for it so you guys can have the news in the morning and in the evening, lunchtime. So if you see more of these long, drawn out messages, it's just news. If you're not interested, don't worry. Again, the blog is always free. It's just more information for you guys so you guys can learn, make decisions, or whatever you want to use the information to. So, again, if you see these big text dumps, it's all news. So, I'm trying to make it where you guys get everything you need from one place right here at the Gar Capital Live Market blog. And the information is scrolling at the bottom. So, thanks for being here and thanks for being patient with me as always. All right, so let's go ahead and expand this chart here. We know the drill. We got a lot of questions. I am ready for you guys. Good morning. Got my coffee ready. Let's get to it. Dow futures are off the lows, 81 points down. The S&P is down about 1. It's flat. It's off the lows. NASDAQ way off the lows. This thing was down 97 overnight, down 0.04%. 10-year Treasury yields pulling back post-GDP and post-claims. Interesting. 4.3% on a 10-year. The dollar finally pulling back. We were multi-generational highs on the yen, dollar yen. Again, I talked about that yesterday slightly on the blog, and I said, listen, it's just very, very volatile. Best bet is just to wait that out. More than likely, the Bank of Japan is going to do some intervention to strengthen the yen slightly. This has happened before, just I believe a couple months ago. So this is not new. So be careful on dollar yen forex, guys. I know you're probably having a snooze fest, but we're taking a look at options. We're taking a look at futures. If I see anything forex, I got y'all. Let's see, VIX up a quarter point, 12.58. Crude oil is up about 1% this morning, and Russell's up about 0.37%. Because the dollar's down, look what's up. Gold, silver, copper, all higher. Bitcoin and Ethereum, both higher. Dollar yen is 160.40, and euro dollar is up 41 pips, pound dollar up 36, and the Aussie dollar up 18 versus the greenback. All right, now we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay. We talked about the GDP beat. Let's take a look at it. Claims 233,000. This is jobless claims. These are people who are just claiming unemployment for the first time. This is a leading indicator of usually a weaker job market. 233,000 beats the estimate of 235. Continuing claims above the estimate of 1.828 million. The claims is 1.839 million. GDP 1.4%. That is actually on an annualized basis, quarter over quarter. That's actually it hit expectations. It's a little higher than previous 1.3. So that's where it beat on the previous, not on the estimate. So that meets expectations. Let's get that out of the way. All right, let's answer some questions. I know you guys have questions. So this is really the reason why you're here is to ask questions. So I'm not going to just go on some monologue all day and talk unless there's something to talk about. Good morning, Bear Mike. Bear Mike, thank you so much for messaging me directly this morning. There are bots out there, guys, that are not me. I want to make that perfectly clear. I put this under announcements. Guys, please be careful. You see the little point there? That ain't me. I'm just one name, CEO Gar Capital. All right, so let's take a look at it. This is really me, I promise. You're in the right YouTube channel. And I know this is the real me because I'm the only guy who says he's an actual Cowboys fan. So you know for a fact bots ain't liking the Cowboys. That's only pain not needed for a robot. So with that being said, guys, if you're not sure who you're talking to, go to the blog, you find me there, click me, and you can just add me as a friend. Why not? If you want, or just DM me. I will not send you DMs unsoliciting things. No offense. I don't want your money, your crypto, your brokerage access. I'm fine. Thank you very much. You can have your own. Thanks. So Never going to touch that stuff. I don't want passwords. I don't want emails. None of that. We have a website if you want to join our service. Okay. So again, none of that DM stuff. Just be careful. We've had people lose money, sending people money. Just don't. A lot of housekeeping stuff. Sorry. So thank you, Bear Mike. Good morning. Palantir had some positive press this morning, and Tesla. This is from Painless. Let's see it. Switched up my keyboard. Looks really great. Logitech. I'm waiting for 24.92 to break on Palantir. 23.29 for a short if we break down below. You see this trend line here? So far, it's holding up pretty nicely. So let's expand it, kind of give us an eye on what we see. And you have downward trend and then a breakout, and then you're holding on. So Palantir does look higher, look better for higher. We need 25 though. So let's wait for 25 and then we could see what we could do. I love trading Palantir. You know this. Tesla. We are in calls on Tesla. Yes, we are. It is down about 30 cents this morning. You could see 199.01. That is the wick high from, what is this? April 15th, April 16th. That was the earnings. And then we pulled back a little bit, kind of trapping aside. But you can see that upward trend. But this is what stands out. See this wedge, this triangle breakout? Beautiful. That's what we're looking for. If we get a 200 to 205, our 220 calls are going to hit very nicely. Tesla has been good to us. So let's see if we catch that today. PNW. Bear Mike, let me make this clear. Do not apologize for asking questions. We are here to help. That's what we're here for, man. So no worries. This is exactly what I want. 327.48 break. Yes, that was my alert. Let's take a look at the daily and why I put that level. Good old gap fill. Now, I need to remind everybody that it is not always as nice as a Starbucks trade or a Target trade. Nike had a gap to fill as well. Didn't do it. How about Intel when we tried to play a break to the gap fill? Yep, right here. This is our gap, and we chopped. This is the scary part about these names. Intel's going to be an L for me, unfortunately, and I'm pissed off about it because it doesn't always work, the gap fill. So as much as Palo Alto Networks does look juicy, let's keep an eye on the options market. Let's see if we get that volume spike, maybe some contracts out there with some time, but just understand the risk that gaps don't always fill when you want them to. But it does look good. Not going to lie. Top of the morning, Envy. Kyle says, thinking of doing a membership, is it easy to cancel if I wanted to end up going with annual? Yeah. I have a team. This is not just by myself. I have a great team with me. So I do not handle the billing. Let me make that clear. I have more intelligent people handling that stuff, accounting and money stuff. I try to just focus on the charts and the clients and helping you guys. Other stuff is better done by smarter individuals. So with that being said, it is very easy. Again, you can DM me your questions. I am the boss, and if anything, I can ask my boss, who is myself, what can I do? But at the end of the day, guys, billing questions I don't handle, but yes, you can cancel rather easily. Worst case scenario, you message me directly, or you can email garcapital@gmail.com. That's GARCAPITAL @gmail.com. If you have any questions, as always, we're here to help. Good morning, Capital. What price would you say MU add for the long term? Is this a buy the dip? That is a good question. That was from JPM and Goldman. Goldman was saying buy the dip. If we're so inclined to buy Micron, which is fine, I'm not. But again, if others want to, I'd rather trade it, not own it. Nothing against Micron. This is a name that we have been trading, guys, since it was like $30 a share. This is back in 2018. OGs know what's up. All my old group know what's up when we were here doing our thing in 2018. Micron was something that we've been trading for a while. So again, nothing against it. DRAM is fine. Has had some great price action, but there is a gap to fill at 115.39. Does it need to fill? No. But the key here always is to see if that 136.57 holds. That's your 20-day. So if we close above this, that'll show some really good resilience after earnings. And they beat. It's not like they missed or anything. It's just expectations are sky high. Obviously, when the stock moves almost double in 6 months. So with that being said, if you settle, meaning closing a day above the 20-day, I think that's a good place to start maybe buying some more Micron if you wanted to, or buy at that point. The gap fill is more than likely not going to happen since July seasonally is going to be stronger, and we do expect more strength into the end of the year for markets. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Is there upside on Micron? There is, absolutely. Just the level I was speaking of. But again, I would want a closure above it. See, we're 135.83. Get above 136.86. If we can stay above there, remember 20-day moving average, that is kind of our momentum level. That's what we're looking for. So buy the dip moment, not for me personally, but use the 20-day as your kind of your level to support, let's just say. We've been using that with NVIDIA calls, and so far so good, even though it's been very volatile. Can I do NVIDIA calls at this level? I do have NVIDIA calls, actually. Let's see. Push higher, pull back. Perfect. Look at that line. Perfect. Let's take a look at it. I drew this up for our members too. I love it when support hits perfectly. It's my favorite. It looks so satisfying, right? Kind of that obsessive compulsive nature that we have, maybe. Not all of us, but kind of like seeing the lines, perfect resistance, perfect support. It just feels good, right? So again, above 120, below 122.44. Again, that is your, I believe, 20-day. So we've been using that as kind of our pivot point. We broke below it. That hurt, but then we bounced above it perfectly. And so far we've been holding in a great daily candle using the 20-day as support. I expect it to go higher. I think 130. I don't want to say by the end of the week. That is expecting the moon. That's a $5 move. And we don't have much tomorrow other than the core PCE price consumption expenditures. That's the Fed's preferred, quote unquote, inflationary gauge. So I roll my eyes at that because it's always a preferred inflationary gauge, and the Fed is always worried about something, whatever. I would say NVIDIA 130s is definitely in play. The question is when. I think once we get there, we're going to be looking pretty good in our calls. So I do expect NVIDIA to hit back to north of all-time highs by the end of July. So yeah, I could see us getting to around 140 by the end of July, maybe early August. And trust me, I'm being very conservative. July, seasonally, guys, the first 10 days are very strong. Do not be surprised. Think about this. We were supposed to, in my opinion, have a pullback this week. We have had none. We have had a pullback on NVIDIA, market's still green. We've had pullbacks in value names that were soaring on Monday, markets are still green. Big mega cap tech names were red on Monday, market's still green. Bears are having a losing fight at the moment. And we're running out of news, running out of catalysts to really make stuff move. So the one thing I'm concerned with is the chop into the end of the week, which just burns premium. So step by step, team. Let's see. mRNA puts. Ooh, what happened here? Yeah, I could see that. We're trading at 121.94. Depending on your target, let's go ahead and use the 200-day. This is your red line. Remember the saying, nothing good happens below the 200-day, 103.71. So if you break below 118, let's call it 118. And I'm going to draw a line so you guys can see it. Actually, it's pretty nice. Take a look at this, guys. This is going to be fun. All right. So you got support here from September 2022. Nice bounce. Kind of floated here from April, May, June, and then July we sank. Retested that previous support, which become resistance, and rejected. Tested resistance again and pulled back. Finally broke out of it in April of this year, right? 2024. Nice pop and a pullback. So with that being said, here's the tricky part. We're going to have to wait for a settlement, not during, we have to wait for it to close if we can get below 118. Okay. And if you break 118, we can do the 100 puts more than likely, or 105 puts, depending on volume, but it's a good one. So let's place the alert together, team. We're going to do it below 118.50 just to give us an alert. Again, let the market tell us what's up, and then we'll make decisions. We don't have to stare at it all day. That's my job. That's what I do. I stare at it all day. 118.50, that breaks. We can go ahead and short this bad boy with a good closure. So mRNA looks pretty good. I'll add that to the watch list this week, Fran. Let me go ahead and write that down. mRNA. And remember, guys, next Wednesday, the market is closed. So you'll lose a day of trading. It is the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all. Get your fireworks. Masterclass will be waiting. Gotcha. Oh, so you want to do masterclass on mRNA? I owe you guys a couple of trades. That BitTo didn't work out. AMC did. If you guys closed, I didn't. So I don't want to be reminded. Nike reports after the bell. Personally speaking, as a shareholder, God, this hurts to say. I've been saying that it might pull back for a minute, and there's a key trend line here. It's the very similar trend line that Starbucks had, and it bounced. Anyone want to see that one? We traded this one. This was a couple weeks ago. We played this bounce on Starbucks post earnings. If you go to Nike, hello, looks very similar, right? Okay, so now we have a basis of comparison. Now what do? Do you go for the 99s on calls? No. Foot Locker had a great earnings report. How's that? So that could help Nike. Gun to my head, I think Nike pulls below 90. Gun to my head, just because of this trend line break. I'm not going to trade it. I had calls. We were 27%. It flipped on me. This is a family YouTube channel, so I'm not going to throw F-bombs. But yeah, not feeling good on that one. Amazon 52% yesterday. It's in the money. Was in the money. Great trade. This was part of the watch list this past week. We had the breakout of the all-time highs, and we talked about the golden fib extension to 255. I don't expect that to hit that anytime soon, but it's a good target to have. We talked about that with NVIDIA and Apple, yada, yada. Going to the 4-hour chart, I had a line here. I was telling everybody that's a possible resistance. Possible resistance. So, a lot of people talk about double tops, triple tops. Triple tops are delaying the inevitable. Triple bottoms are delaying the inevitable. Triple tops, we say, and we see them all the time. It's usually that we're just knocking on the door, and it's more than likely going to happen. Problem is that it may just slow down. And when it comes to options, timing is everything. So we have to be very careful and understand that, hey, there's pockets of resistance, levels of ceiling where we can't break because of such and such, whether it's a double top, triple top, whatever, moving average. It's good to know these things ahead of time, but well done on that 52% Amazon. I am still holding Amazon personally. I have the 195 calls for July. We're about to be in the money. Sounds good to me. We'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. Cheers all.